You could wear my hat and I could wear your bow.
I'm happy to change if you want to swap.
No, that's too silly. I would do it. I would. That's silly.
Hey, it's Saskia and I'm here with Robert Picardo. Hello, how are you?
Hello, very well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So would it be fair to say that you go to quite a few conventions?
I think that would be fair to say.
And what is it about them that keeps you coming back?
The food.
Yeah.
The food.
The mini donuts.
The food, the fans, yes. Here we get a lot of fried food. I've had more fried food in the last 2 days than I've had in the last 2 years, which doesn't mean that I'm not having a great time. No, it's wonderful to meet fans all over the world that have appreciated your work over the years and that continue to be interested enough to come out and see you.
And have you had any interesting fan experiences?
Interesting. Well, we had a fan last night, a woman named Elizabeth, who said that our colleague, Garrett Wang from Star Trek, that she and her husband had taken him to dinner, and that and she said she would love to show me and my present colleague, Robbie McNeil, around, and we said, that sounds great. So she helped us get opera tickets last night. So
wow.
I actually went to the opera with my friend Robbie. And we saw The Magic Flute, which sadly had been translated into English instead of German.
Oh, no.
No, but still, the singing was great. I just felt less exotic somehow, because I speak enough German that I would furiously be trying to translate it if I had seen it in the original language. So I was disappointed about that. But that was not a creepy, that was just a friendly fan experience.
That's
People
awesome.
here seem to be very friendly. They want to share everything that they love about Wellington with us. And we're also here for spectacular weather, which I hear does not happen all the time.
I've been here maybe 4 times and never seen weather like this.
I realized that you couldn't tell from the camera that I happen to be pointing toward a window over there, and it's gorgeous. There's a big empty rugby stadium. I tweeted a picture of me standing in front of the empty stadium saying my rugby debut sadly has been disappointing.
So sports not really your thing?
No, rugby, no, I would not. No, there's certain things, anything where I can hurt myself, chances are I should avoid it.
So you've been in 2 of the biggest sci-fi series ever, Stargate and Star Trek Voyager. What would be the main differences on set for those 2 shows?
Well, Star Trek is, I would say, a more tightly controlled franchise. It's set in the future, and the producers understandably want to maintain that illusion, so they're very particular about not changing a single syllable or comma because they don't want any hint of contemporary expression. They're very careful to choose actors that don't have regional American speech, that we don't sound like we're from a particular part.
Yeah.
They do love European actors on Star Trek, so it's okay to have a British accent or even a French accent, but you better not have a Tennessee accent, right? So that they were, if we wanted to change a word, we had to call the producer's office and have a discussion about that. But I understand that. That's part of how the illusion is kept. Stargate, which takes place in a secret program that is in the present day, had a much looser feeling to it. So for me, having come from Star Trek, I felt like, yay, I've been set free. I can ad lib. I can do what I want. So it was a much looser experience, but they were both, totally enjoyable. Star Trek, obviously, I spent many more years there, made some terrific friendships that I still have to this day. I love to see everyone in the cast, but there's some cast members that I'm actually very close to, that I speak to and see very, very regularly. So it's a great gift to be part of the extended Star Trek family.
Do you have a favorite episode of either?
Well, I tend to like the ones that I got to be funny in, but that were still about something serious. That we had a sort of a My Fair Lady episode on Star Trek called Someone to Watch Over Me, where the doctor who's had a very mentoring relationship with Seven of Nine, who is his very beautiful, considerably younger colleague, and then he kind of falls in love with her as he's teaching her how to behave appropriately on a date. That was funny and romantic, that show. But I tend to like the sillier ones the most. The one where the doctor learns how to daydream and his fantasies become uncontrollable. We can all relate to that, boys, can't we? So that was a fun one too. So I do, but some of the dramatic ones too were fun. They were not as much fun to shoot, but I'm also I'm proud of. I worked very hard on the show.
I recently just watched something that was pretty different for you, the Morganville Vampire web series. What was that like? It's like a web format. Was that a little bit quite different?
It was very different. I was not aware. It's a very successful young adult book series written by a terrific person, Rachel Kane, the author. That's her pen name. I think her given name is can't remember. I know it's Roxanne. I can't remember her last name. Lovely person. She and her husband have become very good friends of mine. They just were fans of me from Star Trek and offered me that. I played a British character.
You did a good accent.
I did all right, thank you. Good, yeah. I'm okay playing a Brit among American colleagues. I would be very intimidated among British colleagues, but yeah, I look like an old 60s rock star vampire. It was fun. I had a good time doing it, and I loved the wig. I actually bought the wig because it was so cool.
Wow! Do you just wear it around the house?
Sometimes, yeah. Cool. Why do you ask? Yeah, I do. When I feel like it, I do. So it's that was a lot of fun. I played he was creepy, sort of low-key creepy.
Yeah. Any chance of more episodes?
I guess there's always a chance. I think they would have had to have had another Kickstarter campaign, but I don't know. Let's put it this way. My character was already 450 years old, so I can afford to wait a little longer.
And you've done a lot of like stage acting as well as being in movies like Hail Caesar and TV series. Which is your preference?
Well, it's always great to do everything. I started out as a theater actor. That's what brought me to California. I'd done 2 leads on the Broadway stage in my early 20s, and I continued to work in the theater. I've done more musicals lately, I think because Star Trek got me started singing again. I did 2 musicals last year. But it's nice to do everything. I would like to do theater in New York again, so that's my dream, is to get myself back, across from LA back to New York and do a few more plays before I retire. But it's really fun to work in all media.
And Hail Caesar is probably your most recent big project. The cast looked really fun. Was that a fun thing to be?
It was, yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Coen Brothers fan,
Yeah.
so to be cast in one of their movies was great. It was not for the part I read for. I read for a very nervous movie producer,
Okay.
and they looked at me and decided that I should play the unhappy rabbi, which I was very flattered by, because I'm a Roman Catholic boy, and I'm auditioning for Jewish directors, and they thought that I was their rabbi. I thought, this is great. I must have range. In this movie that's out now with Susan Sarandon called The Meddler, I play a native Italian, who's her brother-in-law in it. So that was fun. So I'm having a run on foreigners, I guess, or so to speak. Although the rabbi wasn't, he was obviously of Eastern European ancestry, but he felt New York. But still, I'm playing characters that are not holograms. Let's put it that way. I'm doing a lot of non-holographic roles at the moment. But I also want to put a plug in. I've recently become a board member of a space advocacy group called the Planetary Society.
Oh, cool.
One of the co-founders was Carl Sagan 35 years ago. Other people on the board include Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye, the Science Guy,
I love him.
and some astrophysicists and really cool people. I am now on the board, and I do a video newsletter for them every month, so you can search it by looking up the Planetary Post. Robert Picardo, the Planetary Post, and it's a 5-minute video every month of what I think is cool that's happening in space. And it's supposed to be funny. I make jokes, but I talk about something cool that trying to call your attention to it, because my personal feeling is that if you're a science fiction fan, you are really a science fan, and you just may not know that. But through my help, you're going to find that out.